Hello, civic engagers. We are now into module three. And so we're going to go through. This is a big module because you're going to be choosing your projects for the rest of the semester. So this is a big one. So first off, of course, we'll have our preheat. And to talk about this previous module, module two, number one, your suggestions for NOLA V. Some of you, so good. Like super, super specific. One group gave a color palette and they were like, this is the color palette that fits. Also, where it was the fact of had to be backed up by research, right? Making sure that you put in the research of here's how we came to these conclusions of why we would suggest this for the nonprofit. So I'm going to send those all over to the executive director, not all of them, but the ones I can, I'm going to send those over so that way they can hopefully start implementing some of these. Then you also filled out last week your survey. So, your preheat this week is to look at those survey reports. Now, what I have done is I have done both your responses and the responses from the previous classes. So, I think it's about 132 because not everyone, by the time I pulled this, had put theirs in. So you're going to go into these reports. And when you go into the reports, it's going to give you the breakdown of everything that we have, right? School year. And then what I did is when you had to respond to what words come up when you think of social media, etc., I put it into a word bank, right? So you can say, look at that, Instagram, fake, toxic. And then again, a word bank with digital citizens, technology user, internet community, and same here, right? So all of these I've broken into graphs and charts or into word clouds. So that way you're going to look at it for the preheat and then you're going to analyze this, right? Make some observations, some connections and analysis. I have some questions for you. What did almost everyone agree on, right? Look for across the board. What was everyone like? Slam dunk, yes. Where are the answers responses the most erratic, as in they're all over the place? Where do you see contradictions in the data? Data is not perfect, right? Data are not perfect. In the fact of that there's always going to be variables, there's going to be things we didn't control for. Where do you see some contradictions? And then where do you see alignment in the data? Okay, so have a single claim as your conclusion. And then, so you're going to go through that, and then you're going to write an analytical paragraph in the discussion that addresses the following question. And you'll see that question there. So have that single claim as your conclusion, argue your conclusion, provide evidence, and you're writing a small paragraph, 3 to 6 sentences, of course, due by Friday because everything's due Friday by noon. All right. After you get done, we are going to move into the overview, just like always, right? This one, we are looking at the invisible. So we are looking at the concepts of the invisible digital worlds. I know it seems like a paradox. Best practices this week, we are doing radio 5 O's, right? Music across place and time. Indivisible, which is democratic political activism, and Act Blue, which is a digital fundraising platform. The other thing you're reading is on small data theorizing. So we have all of this information that is completely possibly invisible. It's not tangible. What do we then do with that? Right. And if you had Dr. Mayer, that's Dr. Mayer's piece that we're going to be looking at. Then you will have your knowledge check. This is going to be a discussion post. So it's not going to be a test this week. Just make sure, of course, it's up by Friday. And I feel like I want to say drum roll after this announcements page. And because this is now going to get into your projects for the rest of the semester. You still will have the modules, you'll still have the readings, etc. But this is going to be your big project. All right. So the first thing is you need to set up your bio on Vienna Levy. I have a video specifically how to do that. If you already have a bio on Vienna Levy, put your username in this discussion post, right? So that way, also go ahead and log in to make sure that it actually works. And if it does work and everything is great, great. Go to that discussion post, tell me your username and say successful or I can log in. Or if you can't, tell me I can't log in, right? And I'll reset your password and get you all set up. And then if you're great and good, I'm just going to move you to this class. All you have to do is put your information in that discussion post. If you're new and you've never used Vienna Levy, this video that says it's unavailable, it's not, just watch on YouTube. It will show you exactly how to set up your bio. I also have it documented here. Then part two is going to be your community project. I have the 5 community projects linked here. So you're going to want to click through and read each one of these projects. They're totally different. And then this survey that is linked is what you are going to rank your projects by. So put in your full name, and then you are going to rank your project choices below. 1 means it's your top choice. 5 means it's your lowest choice. Now, I'm going to try to give everyone their first choice. And as soon as I have enough people in that group, though, I'm going to close that group so it will no longer be on the survey. So if you wait too long, you will get whatever is left over for the projects. And as you will see, the translation project is very difficult because it requires a second language. So, people who have a second language, please sign up for this one. Unless you don't want to, then sign up for another one. You don't have to simply because you do, but that's also an initiative. Make sure you sign up for your projects early. All right. So, that is this week. Then, of course, after the project, we have the discussion board if you have any questions. All right, you all are doing great. Everyone's being super communicative. Your work is coming in on time for, let's say, 94% of you. Keep it up. Keep doing that. And I will quote unquote see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.